In this tutorial, I want to show you how to set up your column so that it is going to use NURMS, non-uniform rational mesh smooth. So this one I have here already has NURMS turned on. If we zoom in, we can see how it's got its nice subtle kind of corners happening everywhere. So let's talk about how we're going to do that. I'm going to unhide all here and come into select by name. I have two models. I'm going to go ahead and select my column high poly and just delete that. So all I'm left with here, if I go into F4, is just my regular column. I'm going to call that column underscore LP. And I'm going to right click and say clone it as a copy, and I'm going to call this column underscore HP and hit OK. So the process, let's go ahead and we're going to change the color on this guy so it's a little bit easier to see what we're doing on them. There we go. All right. Oops. Well, that's very odd. Why did it? Oh, there we go. So I'm going to right click, say hide unselected. My low poly was sitting there in the same space. All right. So what we want to do here for NURMS is we're going to go through and we're going to frame out each of the different edges on the model. So there's not a lot to hit when you're looking at the edges that line up along the z-axis going straight up, right? Mainly we're just going to frame out the corners there. Most of the work are these ones that run as we're looking here horizontally. These all need to be framed in. So let's talk about how we're going to do that. The vast majority of these will probably be able to select an edge, hit ring, which will ring select all the way around the bottom. And then we could go into connect and change our connect to 2 segments and then adjust our pinch out really far to like 95 and hit OK. So we need to do this everywhere there's a corner, so going all the way up. So here's a tip. I'm going to go ahead. I undid what I had done previously, right? I'm just going to double click to grab this entire edge going all the way up. And I'm going to deselect this one in the middle, and then I'm going to hit ring. And now I'm going to go ahead and hit connect, and it already has my values with these large settings on them. I'm going to click OK. Now I didn't do the center here. I'm going to go ahead, select this one edge, grab the ring, because that one's a lot larger. So I'm going to come back to him. I am going to come over here, double click on this edge on my column and hit Z to zoom out. And I want to deselect this main large one, but then go ahead and hit ring and just hit the connect button again. So I'm going through and I'm getting most of this is getting done really quick here. Double click, zoom out, deselect my big ones, ring, and connect. All right, so now we want to hit some of these larger areas. So I'm going to get into select object. I'm going to click on this edge right here and hit Z to zoom in, hit ring, and then hit connect. And now I just want to increase this more. I'm going to take it up to like 98 and hit OK. And I didn't do the center here, so let's do this one. Let's grab this ring, connect there. See, this one looks like it should be even further, so let's connect at 99. There we go. And then we got to do this one, ring, connect. We'll probably bring this one back down to 98. And then the one beneath it, select that edge, ring, and connect. All right, so we've hit most of it. You'll notice though, when we turn on NURMS, we still got to hit our corners, right? So let's turn that off. So let's go ahead and select one of these edges and hit ring. And because that is a box, right, this works out pretty good. I can just go ahead and under my edit edges, I can hit connect, come over to the side here, grab that ring, and connect one more time. And then all we got to do is just come down here to the bottom, select one of the edges, ring, connect, select an edge, ring, and connect. This column itself is in pretty good shape, so if we want to see our work, We just turn on NURMS and then we go over to create and take a look at it. It looks pretty good. Some of the areas you see where it's kind of got a little bit of some weird artifacting there. So maybe we'll just go through and add a couple more edges. So for that, I may go and find my edit menu, right? Which edit will be somewhere in your toolbar up here. I took mine and I floated it out. So I can go in and just add a couple more in here. There we go. Help it kind of retain some of its shape. There we go. So this is our high poly. It's okay that we're doing this. We're just going to add some edges in here to kind of help it hold up its shape a little better. There we go. Now you don't see as much that little artifacting that was happening. All right. So this is going to be our high poly. So now we have our column high poly. And if we unhide all, you see we have our column low poly. The column low poly, we're going to want to go into the sub-object element, grab everything, and we're just going to hit clear all and assign it one smoothing group. Because what's going to happen is when we go through and we actually bake out textures for our column, it's going to get all that detail is going to come from the normal map from our column high poly. So let's take this guy. I'm going to move him back to 0. And I'm going to make a selection set here. Column underscore HP. Right click or hit enter and then hide selected. And then now I'm going to select this column and say column underscore LP and hit enter. So now I should have named selection sets for both of my objects, and we do want them sitting in the same location. All right. Next, we're going to go through and we're going to start making textures from these.